Have you ever wondered what each of these instructions in our Docker file actually means and what happens when Docker reads this instruction? Let's understand these step by step. So the first command that we have is from node:20 -alpine. So this is the base image to start with, or we can say the foundation. And our image, our application's image will build on top of this image. So Docker is going to pull this from Docker registry. Now you can question me that why we are using node image and not anything else. So this is the Docker file that I have used from our previous video in which we use React project to understand Docker. So React needs npm and node.js to run. That's why we are using node image. Now this next command that we have is workdir/app. This means to set the working directory as /app. And from this step onwards, every instruction will run inside this /app. So this is the container's current working directory. It is, think of it as equivalent to mkdir/app, then cd into the /app. The third step is we are copying package.json and packagelog.json into /app. So now you can question me why we are only copying package.json and not the entire directory and not the entire project. So it's a kind of a small optimization technique so that Docker can cache this layer, and later when the React code changes, Docker won't have to reinstall it. Now run npm install is simply going to list all the dependencies that we have mentioned in package.json. Copy dot space dot means, so first dot is the source, that is our local machine, and we are copying all the files from our source to the destination, that is container's working directory. Expose 5173 does not actually expose anything, it's just documenting that the application listens on port 5173, and you must be aware that Weed's default development port is also 5173. So that's what we have mentioned. And the command that you are seeing over here, so it's a command to run the container, and the first port is host port, the second port is container port. This is known as port mapping. So we are actually mapping, or we can say connecting the host port with the container port in order to forward the traffic. The last command that we can see is the command that is going to run when the container starts. It is going to start the application, right? And why we have used --host over here, it's also simply to forward the traffic to our browser. And friends, this is the Docker image, and this is the command to build our Docker image. When we run this command, Docker follows all these instructions that we have mentioned on the left. Finally, once we have our image created, we can run this command to run our container, and cool, our container is live and accessible. We can access our application. So friends, if you want to understand in more details, I have already created a YouTube video. You can go check it out. And friends, if you have learned something new, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.